this is the final part of the run, and also the hardest part. This is where it all matters. You sort into your computer ally to distract the tyrant, and at the same time, you also need the tyrant to show up, which can kind of turn against you. See, I'm waiting right here for the tyrant to show up. The tyrant can also one-touch you and kill you instantly, which makes this very fun. I have probably had to restart my run many times just at this point. Okay, the tyrant shows up. I shoot him once to piss him off. I electrocute him. Come on, David. Yes! Yes. Oh, I can't begin to tell you how many times that run screws up right there. I didn't have time to do anything as I was waiting for the tyrant. I learned that trick from my friend when we were playing online. He would tell me over the phone how he shot the tyrant once to piss him off, to get him to run into him. And because he was playing, what was his name? Mark? I think he was playing Mark. And because he was playing the security guard guy, he was able to take the first hit and just basically stumble over and shock the tyrant. But with the faster character, it's easier to knock down like Kevin. You're not so lucky. Okay, now, if Yoko is in healthy condition, yep, she'll have that. She ran through that entire area, and now you have all three pieces. Now you can finish the stage, which is the next hardest part of the game. So if you consider like two parts, this is the second part. Okay, the game servers for Resident Evil Outbreak have been up for over 2 years for the first game, and only 1 year for the second game, and that sucked hard, because the second game had infinite ammo servers. The second game had far less loading screens, it was a lot smoother, and it had, 4 other modes. So, the second game just had way more to offer. Originally, Resident Evil Outbreak, this is the scene where you have to wait 5 minutes. Literally, if no one shows up at this room, you have to wait 5 minutes. Let's say they died somewhere in the stage and they're a roaming zombie, you have to wait 5 minutes. It completely sucks. Or you can go down, kill them, and come back. I've done that too. That was pretty fun. Okay, so the game originally had 20 scenarios, and they reduced it down to 10 scenarios between 2 games. I believe they merged several of the scenarios, but that should still count for 5 scenarios unaccounted for. There is a theory that the remaining scenarios were merged into Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles 1 and 2, and that is a possibility, because you can actually find Resident Evil Outbreak stages in Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles. So that's definitely a possibility. So theoretically, we got all of our content. All 20 scenarios, we got them all. Still, it would have been nice to play. Basically, they had made enough content for at least another, one more Outbreak game, and we never got it, which is a real shame. Probably because I think one of the original creators of Resident Evil, who later retired, put it in the hands, if you take Daylight, okay, you're permanently cured. Now, since the timer's counting down, I don't have to do anything. I might as well just get the permanent cure of Daylight before doing anything else. So, right now I'm picking up Daylight. I hate that timer. I could have sworn at one point you could actually glitch out the timer and save a few seconds, but no. To no avail. Okay, so, anyways, I heard the rumor was the original creator of Resident Evil was so frustrated with the development of this game that he actually returned his PS2 to a store. This is the creator from Japan, claiming his PS2 is broken. And just that's how bad this game. I mean, this is a really. The game's not broken. It's just that it's one of the laggiest games ever made. Just in terms of the loading screens, it was. If you want an idea of what a game is when it's optimized, it has as few loading screens as possible. I mean, look at this. Every time I'm going to a new room, I have a loading screen. I'm cutting all these loading screens out, so you're not seeing the full pain here that I am seeing. But yeah, it's frustrating. It must have been even more frustrating to test this game and having to go through that many loading screens. But, like I said, they fixed up a lot of it in file number 2, and it is a shame. File number 2, I will be doing speedruns for file number 2. When I obtain a hard drive, there is a lot more you can do in file number 2 for shortcuts. Another reason why I'm going to wait for the hard drive. Okay, how I got my Bradley game FAQ guide. What happened was they had like Capcom Unity. It was like, at the time it was just a fan site for Resident Evil. And that was up for a short period of time. During that time, I had acquired enough points through participation. I had a lot of points. I think at one point I was almost in the top 10. Maybe I was I think I was on the top 10. Maybe it was number 8, I think. I was on there. I'm pretty sure I was on there. If not, I was on the top 20, definitely. But I had enough points to where I was able to buy a game and an FAQ guide. The first thing I did with my points is I got an FAQ guide. The second thing I did with my points is I waited. I let it, hoard up, just so I can get a game I wanted. The problem is everyone else on the top 10 did that, and there was one guy in particular. Yeah, you can only see the grenade launcher. You only need one shot to take out the door. There was one guy in particular who just annoyed the complete crap out of me and everyone else there. He had a ridiculous score. He had enough score, I think, to buy 10 games from Capcom's store with the points. So on the last day when they announced they were closing it, he cleaned out the store. All the games that were there, he got and it's a dick move. He bought I'm going to take 5 copies of this game. It's like, why? You ass! Let other people get it. And he burned through his entire, you could see him drop right off the top 10. Just, he was gone. He spent the entire load. He cleaned out that store. I think if you had simply prevented him from spending, it wouldn't have been so bad. That's how much of the store he had cleaned out. So I managed to walk away with Street Fighter II Anniversary Edition because I had a sense that the store was going to close down early. So I had cleaned it out prior. I was smart like that. Very smart. And on the last day, all I could get was a Beautiful Joe FAQ guide. Like I said, I had a lot of points. So I ended up with 2 FAQ guides from Capcom and a game. And I still have the packaging that Capcom had given me for the game that they had mailed me, which is awesome. I still have that. So I got Street Fighter II, the Anniversary Edition for the PS2. It came with Street Fighter II, the movie, the animated movie. It was a great deal. Absolutely a great deal. I still watch the movie every now and then. This game ran on broadband. Dial-up was not an option, which is very helpful. The game also had, Capcom considered headsets for the game. They tore them out. They said not to put them in. I can see why Capcom decided not to put them in. This game would have been... This is before Xbox Live. No one knew what headsets were, the whole idea of a lot of, playing games with headsets. And at the time, Capcom, a lot of these Japanese companies were aware that it would be a disaster if they had the headsets, as we discovered with Xbox Live. However, after years went by, Microsoft Xbox Live, it became a better environment. I remember I was playing Castlevania HD, and people were no longer screaming at me over the headset, like, "You suck! I'm the best!" and a lot of Duke Nukem. If you're lucky, you get the funny ones. You get the Duke Nukem. I got balls of steel. If you're lucky, you get those. But most times you get and that went on forever. And that's not funny. I mean, come on, people. Where's the humor? God damn it. Okay, so anyways. Yeah, here I'm waiting. I got nothing to do. I almost screw up here. I try to trade a last-minute item, and I almost screw up here. So I almost completely wrecked the run right here. But luckily I make it. I hate these little timing scenes, because there's nothing I can do. Well, there is one thing I can do. I can load between more rooms and completely wreck my time. Make it a lot longer than it actually is. Because like I said, the fewer rooms you go through, the better. So that's the secret to my run without the hard drive. Okay, the critics gave this game an average score. I spent most of my time playing this game online with my friends over the phone. That's how I played this game. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think now that if they were to release this on any kind of next-gen console, I think with the headsets now, it would be fine. how Capcom originally wanted to work this in was you could only hear people over the headset if they were nearby. So if they weren't nearby, if they were a couple rooms away, you couldn't hear them. And they actually worked that into the gameplay mechanics. Like if I'm yelling, George, 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 he can actually hear me through the walls if he's close enough. Oh, you bees. I hate the bees. Nothing you can do with those bees are random. Nothing you can do. Sometimes they hit you, sometimes they don't. I think... Okay, here's the part. Here's the part that really, really matters. This is the other part of the run that matters. Your NPC allies have to follow you all the way. If they climb up that ladder you saw on the left-hand side, now it's tucked away, but if they climb up that ladder, if they do not follow you at all, your run is ruined, because the tyrant is going to target them. He's going to jump all the way across. See that gap right there? I have to climb down? Okay. I would be screwed if he did that. Utterly screwed. At the same time, I need to grab the rocket launcher, and I need them to distract him. So I need them, absolutely need them here at this scene. So, yet again, the run is almost over. I'm about to grab the rocket launcher. Unfortunately, I don't get the amnipulse shooter till the second part, which I'm not going to use, I don't think. I'm just going to stick with the rocket launcher. The benefits of infinite ammo! Yay. It's very difficult to aim the rocket launcher because it's not lock-on. Oh, wait, actually it is lock-on. Okay, it's lock-on. But it's still very difficult because it's just slow as all hell. The amnipulse shooter I don't think is lock-on, though. Okay, so that's the entire run of this game. And I'll let you enjoy the final scenes.